morning everyone, welcome back to a new video process for my new painting, A Moment of Peace. So we're gonna start with Blender. So in Blender, I set up the main scene as usual. This time I wanted to paint a scene with a distant city. So the distant city, I did not spend too much time on it. Again, as I mentioned last time, I'm using Kit Bash. So that's a background element that I can paint over quite easily. The two characters in the front are coming from Dash 3D, right? And then I have my two dinosaurs here that I model and added some bones for it, right? So I can move them around, rotate, etc. So the final render in Blender will look something like that. So I clicked, hopefully, yes, it's going through. I then will paint the first and the background with grass and trees. That's something I love doing. I like painting every single blade or every single leaf. And then with that, we're gonna go to Photoshop. So now we are in Photoshop. That's the almost final piece. I apply my camera raw filter so I can have a vignetting effect and some color balance. If we move into the main one, that's the overall. So starting from the background, we have the clouds, right, which are painted here. I am using some mask so I don't have to paint everything. Then I added the city coming from Blender, where I overpainted and I added a bloom effect, for instance, to give it a cool glowing effect. So the city itself contains a Gaussian filter and I also repaint over it. And then the second step here is to add some atmospheric, so to show that it's in the distance, by picking one of the blue color of the sky and just applying it with a solid color with, you see here, 15%. Then I have my ground here that I painted with the usual suspect, like tiny dots to simulate the leaves. And then just using my brushes. So I have several brushes. Maybe I can show that. Oh, it's not on this computer. Anyway, I have several brushes with several form of blades, right, for the grass. Then a tiny lens effect. Just I was looking for something to add a bit of color. Then some birds that will be on top of the dinosaur. So I'll get back to the dinosaur right after. Then a paint over again on the front. I was not happy with the first version, so I added some flowers and stuff like that. Then the couple. So the couple is actually a paint over plus a blur effect. So you can see here we feel the movement with this tiny, it's a path blur in Photoshop. And then a second atmospheric effect to even push back the background. I still have to do some effects. I want to paint a tiny glow on the side of the dinosaur to really separate them well from the background. For the dinosaur, for this example, I would like to come back on something. So that's the version I'm getting from Blender, yes. And it's quite dull, it's quite flat. So the first thing I'm doing some photo bashing. I'm taking some picture from whale's skin that I then applied, right? Then a bit of overlay color, this red effect. I looked in some books, apparently that's how the Brachiosaurus here are. And then a final paint over to smooth the shadows, to add more details in my dinosaur. And at the end of the day, so don't save, don't care, don't save again, don't care, yes. At the end of the day, that's the final piece. Thank you very much. See ya.